Hi everyone, welcome to Pimo Canada Immigration. I'm Zhang Hui, an RCSA and inactive Chinese lawyer. Last time, we explained the immigration appeals. Today, we will explain the refugee hearing. Refugee hearing is a legal proceeding to determine whether the protection by Canada should be conferred on an individual who claims that they are a refugee or a person in need of protection. The competent tribunal to make the decision is the Refugee Protection Division, the RPD of the Immigration and Refugee Board, the IRB. The decision makers at the RPD who make the decisions are known as members. If a refugee claim is accepted by an RPD member, the claimant becomes a protected person. That means they obtain the protection of Canada. The next step available for them is to apply for permanent residence. So how do the RPD members determine whether a claimant is a refugee or a person in need of protection? They rely on the assessment of three factors to conclude refugee hearings they presided: inclusion, exclusion, and cessation. Inclusion means a claimant meets the definition of convention refugee prescribed in Section 96 of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, IRPA, or the definition of person in need of protection prescribed in Section 97 of IRPA. Exclusion prescribed in Section 98 of IRPA refers to the situations that will cause refugee claimants not to be conferred the protection of Canada. Cessation prescribed in Section 108 of IRPA refers to the situations that come into existence and they show the individual seeking protection is no longer in need of protection. Convention refugee is a term that stems from the UN Refugee Convention. An individual is a convention refugee if they are outside of their home countries because of a well-founded fear of persecution on the grounds of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion, unwilling to seek the protection of their home countries. It applies to stateless persons if they are in the same situation and unwilling or unable to return to their former habitual residence. Person in need of protection is an individual in either of the two circumstances. One, they are in Canada. Removing them from Canada to their home countries or former habitual residence, if they are stateless, would cause them to face a danger of torture, a risk to life, or a risk of cruel or unusual treatment or punishment. And because of the risk, they are unable or unwilling to seek the protection of that country. Two, they are outside of their home countries or habitual residence, and they have been and continue to be seriously and personally affected by civil war, armed conflict, or massive human rights violation in those countries. The purpose of refugee protection is to save lives and fulfill Canada's international obligations. It is not to offer a better life or better opportunity. Therefore, individuals who are already protected elsewhere are neither a convention refugee nor a person in need of protection. For example, Jewish citizens who are persecuted in one country where they can seek protection in another home country, or permanent residents who are persecuted in their country of nationality where they can seek protection in the country where they are a permanent resident. Also keep in mind, individuals who are persecuted in one part of their country, but they may safely relocate to another part of their country, will not be accepted as either two. Protected elsewhere, we mentioned above, is one of the situations that falls within the exclusion clause. Other situations that will cause the refusal of a refugee claim include the following. The individual has committed a crime against peace, a war crime, or crime against humanity. The individual has committed a serious non-political crime outside the country of refuge prior to their admission to that country as a refugee. The individual has been guilty of acts contrary to UN's purposes and principles. Persons in the above-mentioned situations are the ones who create refugees. To maintain the integrity of Canada's refugee protection system, they must not be conferred protection by Canada, as those who create refugees shouldn't benefit from refugee protection. Then what are the situations that will cause cessation? They are as follows. The individual has voluntarily re-availed themselves of the protection of their home country. The individual has voluntarily reacquired their nationality. The individual has acquired a new nationality and enjoys the protection of that new home country. The individual has voluntarily become re-established in the country that they left or remained outside of, and in respect of which they claimed refugee claim in Canada. The reason for which the individual sought refugee protection have ceased to exist. Handling refugee hearing requires extensive immigration knowledge and legal skills. Unless you possess both to claim refugee protection in Canada, it is recommended to retain an ethical and competent immigration practitioner at your earliest availability. Also note, refugee hearing is the proceeding for refugee determination in Canada. It does not apply to refugees and persons in refugee-like situations who are outside Canada. If you are overseas and need to seek refugee protection in Canada, please visit IRCC's website and search refugee resettlement programs. What to do if your refugee claim is rejected by the RPD? The remedy for refusal is either refugee appeal or judicial review, depending on whether you have access to the Refugee Appeal Division, the RAD. If positive, you may appeal to the RAD. If negative, you may seek judicial review. For more information, please visit the IRB webpage, Claim Refugee Protection, in the description below. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. We wish you a wonderful Canadian immigration journey and welcome you to reach out to us. We mentioned some unsuccessful refugee claimants may appeal the negative decisions to the Refugee Appeal Division, the RAD. Then how to appeal and how do the RAD members determine the appeals? We will explain this on September 12th. Stay tuned. See you then.